Silicon Valley, technology, art, green, and sustainability.
Welcome to another episode of Silicon Valley Tech, Art, Green, and Sustainability. Today I have a guest with me, Shyam. How do you pronounce your last name again?
Nagrani.
Nagrani, and from Motiv Power Systems.
That's right.
And it's an interesting new technology company. Let's see, so before we go there, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Heather, I am, as you know, Indian. And
I didn't know that, so I would never guess.
And the reason you are having a problem with my name was the way it is spelled. It's S-H-Y-A-M. And people look at it and say it should be Shyam. But no, it's not. It's Shyam. And the reason is that in Hindi, we have half sounds and we have the half Y sound. Again, you would ask, why do I have that? I could have, if I had said S-H-A-M, it would have been a sham. And who wants to be called a sham?
That's funny. So tell me about yourself a little bit before we start talking about the company.
I got my early education in India in the city of Mumbai. I went to engineering college at IIT Bombay. Didn't finish over there, came over to Georgia Tech and got my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering.
And for people that don't know, Mumbai, it was Bombay, right? They changed the name?
They did change the name.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this seems to happen in the third world. If they have a famine or something like that, they change the name of the country and people are so involved in the new name that they forget about their other woes. And they've done this in China. Peking became Beijing. So it's not uncommon. Yeah. So I had my early education in India, came to the US when I was 21 years old, got my bachelor's degree at Georgia Tech in electrical engineering, a master's degree at the University of Southern California, also in electrical engineering. And then I have been working in the United States for well over 30 years.
Wow, and you look so young.
Oh, thank you. I thought my gray hair was a dead giveaway about my age.
Well, I've been dyeing mine since I was 25, so.
So you've only been dyeing it for about a year.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet.
So I moved up to
Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great school.
It is a good school, but I must admit that I've enjoyed California a lot more than I ever enjoyed Georgia.
It's hot and there's big bugs and humid. And
unfortunately, when I was in Georgia, which is way back when, there was, immigrants were not exactly common. Today, Atlanta is a very different city, but in those days, you felt like you were different from the locals.
You felt like an outsider?
Yes.
Yeah. But not here in Silicon Valley.
Oh, not at all.
We're a melting pot, and it's a great place. Yeah.
It's a wonderful place because it truly is a meritocracy. Nobody worries about the color of your skin or your accent. They're more interested in how good you are at what you do.
In fact, we like when you have an accent.
Oh, thank you. Especially if it's British or Italian.
No, I like Indian accents.
Heather, I'm beginning to like you more and more.
So you moved here. And where did you work before you were at the company you're at now then?
I have been through a large number of companies. This is my 13th job.
High tech?
Everyone in high tech.
Yeah.
But what I found was that if I stayed at a company for more than a few years, I probably outgrew it, started getting bored. So I have been, what you might call a rolling stone. But during this time, I have been through 5 startups, and Motiv is my 6th startup. The first 5 that I went through were all in semiconductors. And even there, I started in the PC business, went over to displays, moved on to TVs, and now here I am in clean tech. I always like to do something new.
To where you're at now, that's very interesting.
But over here at Motiv, I think my biggest contribution to the company is the experience that I have working in startups, because all of those 5 companies were successful. 3 went public and 2 were acquisitions.
Nice.
So I have learned a lot about what makes a company successful. And at Motiv, we've got a bunch of very smart technologists who understand this electric transportation business very well. And I'm there to help them out in getting relationships and the experience that I have with startups.
So tell us about Motiv Power Systems and what it is you guys do. Tell us about the company.
We are a 3-year-old startup based in Foster City, California. We have 13 employees.
13, wow.
You know, we feel like if we had 25, we could do so much more work.
I thought there was 3 employees, so 13, that's great.
Oh yeah. What we're doing is actually a very complex system. We design intelligent powertrains for electric trucks and buses. And these are the trucks that you see, the UPS package vans or the FedEx vans, shuttle buses that you have at the airports, at hotels. We build the powertrain for an all-electric truck or bus. This traditionally, the way electric vehicles are built is that you have a battery which gives you the range for that particular weight, and that drives a motor which then drives the rear wheels of the truck. What we did was, instead of having just a standard design where you had to use specific components, we designed it such that you could use any battery and any motor, and just by changing some software, you could get new designs. This is a nice plug-and-play system. And of course, Heather, you're going to ask, what is plug-and-play? Plug-and-play.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But I wanted to find out, let's see, so what solutions do you provide to attract to the space? And then also, I was looking at the website, and you have some amazing people working there. So tell me a little bit about how it was formed and the people there. I know there was a Stanford graduate that's one of the founders, or is the founder?
Is the founder.
Founder.
Jim Castelaz.
Along with yourself, some very intelligent people that are running this company.
Thank you. Jim is a 28-year-old. He graduated from Stanford with a master's degree. He was in the PhD program.
Only 28.
And yeah, he graduated like 5 years ago.
Wow.
With a master's degree. He got very interested in electric transportation, and he got so interested that he actually dropped out of his PhD program and started working at a company called EduraTech, which he started with another gentleman. And what they wanted to do was build electric buses for China. What they also realized soon after they started the company was that they required a tremendous amount of capital. And Jim decided that this was not a business that was going to make it very big, because getting that kind of capital is so difficult. So they folded that company, and he started off Motiv Power Systems as a consulting company. Being a consulting company, he was able to bootstrap the start, go out and get some projects, and was able to, he decided in a very short time that what the world needed was a plug-and-play modular system for an electric powertrain. Because every time a new bus was designed, it would take a year or more to do the design.
Wow.
With the way Motiv has done this powertrain design, we just change the software and we can get a new design in weeks.
I'm going to pull up a slide right now, and I think this first one should be, there's your team. So there's you guys, you're in front of an old car in an event. We got Lisa Ann in the front there, and I think in the middle is the founder, right?
Yes, the gentleman with the khaki pants.
Uh-huh.
The rest of us were in black, and I think he decided he would be a little different.
So he's very bright. You guys have come up with a plug-and-play system, and if you want to talk about that, you can. So tell us what plug-and-play is and why that's important to the system.
What we mean by plug-and-play is being able to change the battery types. In the high-tech business, every few years you get breakthroughs and products get much better. In the case of batteries, we have gone from NiCads to nickel metal hydride to lithium ion. And every time we move to a new technology, it's generally cheaper, and more importantly, it's better. In this particular case, the energy density for the equivalent weight is significantly better than what it used to be for the lead acid batteries that we have in our cars. If we only had lead acid batteries today, we could not power large trucks which are 15, 20, 50,000 pounds. But with lithium ion batteries, the weight is significantly lower, and we can get enough power out of those batteries. So
what does it take to charge them then? How long does it take to charge something like this? And then how long, I guess, does it, do they have to plug in somewhere then within the day? How many miles would they be able to go?